Welcome back, everybody. We got another one. What I want to do is just play around. I don't know how many days are left in this season. All my challenges are done. What are these? Okay, those are pretty slick. I have 1 day. Flame rate, sky blue. Oh. It's cool. But I don't care. I do, however, want these. I'm a big fan of the septums. I have the crimson ones. These will help out. Looks like I'll have to purchase a couple things. Dang you, Rocket League. Alright, anyway. So, I keep seeing stuff about coronavirus and stuff like that. I don't know much about it in terms of severity and stuff like that. I don't keep up with it. I don't like to watch the news personally, which is kind of a poor decision in some way because I'm very underinformed. I get all my updates and everything from friends and family, and it's their interpretation of everything that's happening or has happened or whatever, right? If it's not corona, it's something else. My thoughts on it personally are that it's a little bit over sensationalized, but it is still very serious, I say. I don't believe personally that it is to the extent that the media is putting it out there to be. But I also don't watch the media. It's just from hearing other people talk about it and stuff like that, right? But what I think is that it's a big deal. There are a bunch of cases of, death and stuff like that. And it is a lot of the time just higher aged people. And we're gonna clip that. That was pretty good. Sorry, dropped the controller. That was also a pretty good save. Can't clip them all, can I? We're gonna try. Anyway, but it is very much a thing for, if you have a... Oh, close one, dude. If you have, a compromised immune system and stuff like that, that's kind of where that is. So, older people, they aren't as immune to things as younger because their bodies aren't working the same as younger people. So, I mean, that's one of the big cases that I've seen is just stuff like that. And that's not to say that a younger person can't get it and die from it or get very ill or hurt from it or whatever. It is very serious. My thought process on it is kind of like that of guns, right? I'm terrified of guns. Just because it's so quick and it does so much damage. And then just the stigma with them and all that of just people use it for many things, murdering people, killing themselves, whatever. They're just, to me, they're useful in certain situations, I don't know, a war where you have to, but I mean in times that you don't have to, you see these people, they get super mad at other people and they start waving a gun around instead of trying to fight them or work it out even. They just are so quick to pull out a gun. And it's just come on. But you have to have a healthy fear of guns because they're not dangerous if you have the right people using them. Because you have a healthy respect for them and you know how to take care of it. Which goes the same for the coronavirus, I think. It's, if you have the right people telling the right information and you're taking care of it the right way, washing your hands, sanitizer or whatever, trying to stay out of public areas as much as you can. If people are crowds aren't supposed to be more than 100 people or something like that inside That was sick. Actually, that was really good. In like establishments, right? Like I upgraded my computer, so I'll be able to do a lot more stuff. I have to reformat it now because of it, and that's okay. That's a very small price to pay for upgrading it the way that I did, so that's good. It makes editing way easier. But anyway, so like we went to this store, a friend of mine and myself, we went to this store. I'm not going to say where, because I don't want to get anybody in trouble or whatever. Not that my videos are really that high caliber that people are watching it and stuff like that right now. But anyway, we went there to get these parts, my buddy and I, and it was like, I mean, line like wrapped around aisleways because it was just so busy. And it's just a computer store, so it's not that they're buying toilet paper or buying sanitizer or soap. None of that. It was just computer parts. But yeah, and it was just insane, right? And they're not supposed to be doing that. So like, that's not the right people. Like, unfortunately, I love this place, but unfortunately they weren't following what they were supposed to be following. And due to that, I'm not going to say that anything happened, but sure, more coronavirus could have been passed around because there were more people there that shouldn't have been there and stuff like that, right? Like, so again, it's just the right people doing what they're supposed to be doing. If I'm there, I'm washing my hands and then not touching my face or, you know, grabbing anything that anybody else is trying to grab without making sure that I either clean it beforehand or that they clean it. Stuff like that. Like, if I'm not taking the proper steps, then of course I should be getting it. Just like guns. If I'm not handling it right, of course I have the chance of essentially shooting myself or somebody else in that matter. And it's just like, again, I think it's just a little bit over sensationalized. I don't think that it's bogus, right? Like, I do believe that it's a big deal personally. I really do. I do think that we need to take the precautions of just limiting our public, I guess just like our public encounters, right? Like, stay indoors as much as you can, unfortunately. And that sucks because some of you guys have vacations coming up and stuff. Well, I mean, that sucks, but maybe cancel it, postpone it. I don't know if you can or if you have already. If you have, I'm sorry that you had to. If you haven't, I mean, I kind of recommend it because what if, right? Like, it's a big deal. It is a big deal. And I feel that a lot of people just don't want to listen to the media because the media is usually pushing out bad information. So they're like, oh, well, this can't be right. This can't be correct because it's the media. They just want to, you know, put us into a scare. Which, sure, part of it may be. But if they put you into a scare, so think of this. Think of this. They scare you, right? They make you want to stay at home. So what do? You stay at home, and you stay at home for how long? Long enough for the virus to essentially be gone. Is it really a bad thing? Like, if they scared you to the point that you stayed home and didn't get the virus, is that a bad thing? Would you rather them not scare you and then you get the virus? I mean, me personally, I would rather be scared, stay home, and miss this whole entire thing. And then go, man, they really did over-sensationalize that, but I did stay home, I didn't get sick, I'm still alive, I'm still here, my friends and family are still here. I can't really complain then, can I? I mean, at that point, it's kind of like, well, they essentially did their job. They got the information out there, maybe poorly, maybe too much or too aggressive, but we lived, so, you know what I mean? Like, think of it like that. Like, just because they are over sensationalizing it if they are. I'm not a doctor, I don't know. I don't read the news, or the news, I'm sorry. I don't read articles, I don't watch the news. So, yeah, so it's like, really though, for all I know, they're giving me 100% accurate information. I don't know. I cannot confirm. Anyway, I got real focused right there because I was thinking maybe something could come of that. But anyway, I don't know. I just say, think of it like that. Like, yeah, the media might be a little bit over pushy and overdoing it, you know, over pushy. I meant to say overdoing it first and then said overdoing it. I mean, I meant to say overdoing it first and then said pushy, but I already had said over. So that sucks, sorry. Just too much going on in my mind and also trying to focus on this. So we're doing pretty good. I'm doing terribly. I have 24 points, but that's okay. I mean, whatever. My teammate's good enough. It's all that matters. But anyway, yeah, like, they may be doing that, right? It may be too much on their end. They're not the media, or they're the media. They're doing what they're essentially supposed to be doing, which is putting out what they're told. And however they do that, unfortunately, may not be the best way, but it is a thing that they are literally supposed to do. That is their job. And I'd say they're doing a good job at it, of getting the information out there, because I'll tell you right now, everybody is very aware of the coronavirus, and they're very aware that it's a big enough deal that people need to worry. So, I mean, it might be too much, but at least people are, they're at least thinking about it, right? Like, it's at least on their mind. So, I mean, in that case, like I said, I think that they're doing a pretty okay job. Yeah, you do got it. You're way better than I am, buddy. Sorry, I'm not much help to this guy at all, man. It's out. I just kind of sat there floating and seeing. Anyway, that's my thoughts on it. That's my own personal opinion. I am worried about it, right? Like, I don't want to say that I'm not worried, because I am worried about it. It's a big enough deal. It's taken enough lives. It's hospitalized enough people. I have family that's older, like my grandparents, and if those are the people that are really affected and really hurt by it, that terrifies me. That alone. If it's not for my own well-being, it's for theirs, right? And that scares me, because I would hate to lose my grandparents to this when they're 80-something years old. Like, both of them are in their 80s, and they're both pretty healthy. Like, I don't know. I feel like this should kind of be like a slap in the face for them to be taken out by this, right? Like, you guys have gone through so much. You guys have been sick and got through that. You guys have dealt with, you know, different types of things. I'm so sorry, man. I'm not any help to you. He question marked me. I know what that means. But no, like, I think that would be like a slap in the face. It's kind of like, if you guys have ever seen the movie, I think Lawless, it has like Shia LaBeouf, Tom Hardy, and one other person, I can't think of who. But anyway, it's like, this guy cannot die, right? He's just this guy. He's just a normal guy. It's like moonshining days, stuff like that. And it's like, he's gonna leave. And I don't blame him. But anyway, it's just moonshining days, right? It's nothing superpowers, it's nothing anything like that. It's just a normal family doing the moonshining business, and they're not supposed to be. It's obviously against the law, so they have to do it secretively. Stuff like that. That was a good shot. And anyway, he literally gets shot like 4 or 5 times, I think. Lives. And then the way that he dies, he goes out by a lake when it's freezing, does like a little dancy jig type of deal, falls in, gets out, goes home, gets hypothermia, dies. But he went through like the most insane stuff, right? Literally gun battles and running from cops and just all this stuff. And then he gets taken out by hypothermia. And it's just kind of like a, I mean, you're not invincible, right? But it's kind of like a slap in the face way to die. And in that case, right, in that circumstance, it's a brutal way. I mean, I would hate to have that happen, but I mean, it's just like a weird way when you've gone through what you've gone through, right? So like my grandparents have done all these things. They've had all these different things happen. They've been to so many different places and seen so many different things. And then the coronavirus. Is that, I mean, to me, that's like a slap in the face way. And so that's what terrifies me. It's not my own health. I mean, I don't know if you can tell, I'm not a skinny dude. Like I don't work out a bunch at all. And I eat pretty poorly. So like, I'm not the most healthy, but I don't fear that this is going to be the reason that I go out. And maybe that's just me being ignorant to it, but I don't think this is gonna do me in. So I don't fear for me in this case. I literally fear for those that this can really harm, and that being my grandparents. They're massive in my life, and I would just hate to see that be the reason. I don't know. But do take it serious. Don't think that the media is just telling lies. They might be telling some lies, and they might be exaggerating the truth a little bit, possibly. We don't know. You guys aren't, you know, scientists. Well, you guys might be scientists. You guys might be doctors. You guys, you know, whatever. If you are, chime in. Am I wrong? Am I right? Should I just stop now? Because I'm also not the media, the doctors, like the professionals. I kind of am the media right now. I'm telling you my own thoughts, my own opinions. They mean nothing. But, I mean, I don't want you to go with what I say. If you guys have a healthy fear of it and you guys are terrified of it and all that, don't listen to me and go, oh, okay, we have nothing to fear because we're not super old and we're not super sick. That's not what I'm saying. It can still take those people too. It's not as common for that to happen from what I've been told and from what I've seen, but it still can happen. I mean, let's be honest. If you get sick in any way, your immune system's compromised. You're no longer as healthy and strong as you once were before you got sick, right? Like, you are a little bit more weak. That's why you got sick. So, be conscientious. Be aware of that. I don't know. My vocabulary, my mind is all screwed up. I'm trying to get my thoughts out there as accurately and quickly as possible. Because I don't want to make this video a 45-minute video on the coronavirus and stuff like that, because let's be honest, you guys can get that somewhere else. I don't want to be that. This is going to be the only conversation I'm going to have about it either. Like, I'm not going to make multiple videos on it. I can promise you that. This isn't like me talking about Hunt or Brandon doing things, or I don't know, whatever. Like, I'm not excuse me, it's my coffee. But no, like, that's not what I'm about. I don't want to force feed this on you guys many times. That's not what this is about. That's not what I want this channel to be about. Nothing like that. I just want to make sure that you guys are aware that it is a big enough deal that quarantining yourself may or may not be needed, but it isn't going to hurt anything other than your social life or maybe work. But by now, your work is probably already doing the same thing. They're probably already encouraging that, you know what I mean? So, I mean, honestly, just go with the flow in this case, in my opinion. You know, don't take the media for what it's saying everything is, but also don't just shoo it off because it's just the media. They're just trying to do this. Don't look at it like that either, because if you do that, then you're gonna more or less jeopardize yourself, because you're not gonna believe anything at that case, and what could be being told to you could be the 100% truth, and you're like, nah, screw those guys, I don't care about those guys, they're not telling me anything of substance that I need to know, they're not my doctor, they're not whatever. And that could also hurt you in the future too, because the info that they're getting could be from the doctors, could be from, you know, scientists that are checking into this, trying to find, you know, cures, stuff like that, which from what I understand, it's just a strain of the flu, and there really isn't a cure for, unless I'm just thinking of the common cold. Whatever. You get it though. I'm done beating it into the ground. So, on that note, if you guys are enjoying the content, if you guys have questions, concerns, anything like that, you know where to find me. I'm not far away. Just hit me up in the comments, and if we need like a more direct line, let me know in the comments, and I will reach out to you guys and get you guys like my Discord or email or whatever, and we can go deeper into it. Again, I'm not an expert. If I need to do some research before we talk, I'll do some research. I'm not opposed to learning, you know what I mean? Like, it can only benefit me in the long run anyway, so why not learn what I can? So maybe that's what I do. But anyway, like and subscribe if you guys haven't already. I don't know, just be the best you, be healthy, quarantine yourself at least to an extent, because it can't hurt. I think that's about it, guys. I mean, honestly, if you guys have stuff to add, like I said, comment. I want to know your guys' thoughts and opinions, especially on this, because this is like global, right? This isn't just the state that I live in or just the United States. This is everywhere. So it's affecting everybody in some way or another, right? It's impeding some part of somebody's day, whether it's you are sick, or you know somebody that is sick, or you're scared to get sick, so you're, you know, doing something different or whatever, you're affected by it. It doesn't have to mean that you are physically affected with the sickness, but it could be anything. So let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions. As always, just always stay kind and always stay positive. We'll catch you guys in the next one.